I am Mduism. Hello, everybody. I am Mduism. Today we're here with a special guest, Wesh Papillon. Papillon. Would you
Hey,
like to
it's
tell
a
us
it's
about yourself?
pronounced oh yeah. Hey, I'm Papillon, or I guess the English way of pronouncing it would be like Papillon, which is the best like approximation. I'm I would say I'm a slam player, so I play mostly lower tiers, and I'm from Montreal in Canada. So today we're gonna be building Lil Cup. We're building SV, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how familiar your audience would be because I haven't really been relevant in LC for like a say a couple like 2 or 3 years at least, maybe even more than that.
Well, I'm a big fan.
So yeah, well, thank you, but I guess I would be most well known for my builds, and I would say SS LC, pre Vol unbanned, so no Vullaby, and very early Scarlet and Violet. I would say like pre what was the last like I'm trying to think of like the last meta relevant teams I've built, and I think it was the earliest, the latest ones I can think of are like Snivy and Ghastly meta, so that tells you how long it's been.
Sure.
So
So how is it
anyways,
pronounced again? Papillon?
yeah, that's pretty good actually.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so we're gonna be building SVLC today. And the you can interrupt me at any point, by the
Well,
way,
I was
if
going to say
you need.
that.
Oh, cool. So I've seen the other videos, and I guess I kind of wanna, tell people how I do it. So usually there's a couple of reasons why I would even be building a team in the first place. A lot of times the builds I'm gonna be doing are gonna be like aiming for consistency, right? So I just wanna diversify my builder, try like different popular cores, try them out in like on the ladder, on alts and stuff like that. But I guess like for this video, maybe building with something a bit more exotic would be a bit more,
I
telling
like
because
that.
I don't think people need to see like, oh, did you know Mienfu and Fungus, and then you add like a Gothita and like a random good Pokemon that's like good, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, you probably, if you're watching this video, you probably already figured that out. So I guess what we could do is I'm taking a look at the VR you posted, right?
Mhm.
And it's this your most recent post, I think. It's from uh yeah, March 18th, which is around, yeah, 10 days ago. So pretty recent. Uh and then I look at like the top Pokemon, so we can base it off your rankings. I'm trying to find like a weak point, or like a common issue I'm having, or like an issue that I would have into like a specific opponent. But since we're laddering today, I guess like the question I would ask you if we were building together is like, what are like 2 or 3 archetypes? Like, how do you see the metagame, and like how are you trying to beat that? If
I've
that
been
makes sense.
interested in Double Trap recently. Trap and Scottita.
Yeah, so you you're playing both, right?
Mhm.
So we can so or is that right? Like, you play Trapinch with Gothita, and
Yeah.
then you're okay. So I guess like that would be like an archetype that would be possible to explore because I haven't seen it that much, but I do see the merits in it. Or something else that you can do when you look at a metagame is think like, okay, like what am I realistically going to be playing into? So like off the top of my head, and you can add, there's like traditional Fungus teams with like Fungus Mudbray, like oftentimes something like a Diglotalola or like an Elekid, something that doesn't really take that much stealth rock damage,
Hmm.
because those teams often don't pack Toad School, or like they can often run Sandshrew, but that's not as reliable of a way to spin. So it oftentimes like they um they don't really run those like super rocks weak Pokemon other than Volibee, who's like way better than the others.
Yeah,
Um, and then
some may say
obviously you have like
mandatory.
yeah, I wouldn't say Volibee is mandatory in the same way Mienfoo is. My take on Volibee is that like it's like lower splashability, but it peaks a lot higher than Mienfoo because it has like way more sets that can do way more things than
Right.
Mienfoo can. So like yeah, so you have like the fungus teams that don't really pack removal, usually like a Mudbray or something like that, and they don't really pack like rock sweep Pokemon. Then you have like your Toad School teams. Those guys can usually afford to run like a Howlith or a Wingull as a last mon. So I assume if I say TTM, like everyone in your audience knows what I'm referring to, right? Like those Toad
Yeah.
School, Marini, Tinkating type of builds.
We built that
And
two
then the way I
episodes
see it,
ago.
sorry.
We built that 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's not really like a underground archetype. I'm
Yeah.
assuming like
Yeah.
most people would know about it. And then the way I think of it is you have like your Trapinch teams, but they're not like mutually exclusive with TTM. Trapinch and your Gothita teams, which are like kind of their own game plan. Like they're not really trying to like control the game state in the same way they're trying to like eliminate a specific Pokemon and then win. Though I do think they both bring like significant support. I think Trapinch more so because it does have an immunity to Volt Switch and priority. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of Trapinch, but I can see the appeal in both. So those would be like two other archetypes, and then the last kind of archetype I would think about is like cheese, like those stupid screens.
Yeah.
Um, I actually, as far as I know, I was one of the first people to like. So I guess that would be the most recent meta relevant team. But I gave it to like Elfusion and like FCL, and it kind of popped off from there. But it's kind of a stupid archetype, so I don't really like. It doesn't really have like a place in my heart. So okay, so basically, like, what are we trying to queue into, right? So let's go back to double trappers. Like, what kind of obviously it would be like one of those trapper archetypes, but like what specific mon would really benefit from having Gothita and Trapinch support it, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So let's think about it like concretely. Like obviously, Gothita can like kill Fungus, and then Trapinch can kill like those annoying like steels and rock types that can uh attack Volibee.
Hmm.
So I'm guessing like what would be like your first ideas like that of Pokemon that would fit neatly with those two?
Nasty plot bull.
Yeah, that makes sense to me as well because you could like you wouldn't even need to run Terra Ground. You can run Terra Ghost, and then you can run coverage. So let's assume we're rolling with those three, right? So we're running Got, Trapinch, and Volibee. You can I don't know what's happening on your end, but if you wanna like open your team builder, we can try to
Yeah, I'm filling them
visualize
in.
it.
Something I
Okay,
learned
cool.
from the other guests is that we should fill in the 6 slots first, and then go for sets.
Yeah, that's how I do it too. Unless I have like a very specific tech in mind. So like let's say, one thing I was thinking about is like, Gothita is really fun to have. but sometimes you just really would like to be trapping like me and Fungus, but there's a trip engine away. So, let's say I'm running like, oh, this team is Terra Ghost, uh, Gothita. So I'm trapping Fungus, and then I'm leaving, and then I'm coming back later to trap something else. It's not. I don't really have a working team for that yet, but then I'll fill up that move slot first because that's what I'm basing myself
Right.
around. But otherwise, yeah, I like to fill in all of my slots just to have like a rough idea. I don't know how to explain this concept, but have you ever heard like guarding as a or like flow as of like team building? I
Yeah.
am probably gonna have to elaborate on that. So let me think of how I could
Sure.
think of like a Pokemon that really invites in another specific Pokemon. Like let's say, you're using Elekid without Ice Punch. And your opponent like somehow they know you don't have Ice Punch because your Elekid's nickname is no Ice Punch. This is not like a perfect example. So whenever your Elekid comes in, it's a free in for Toad School, right?
Right.
So whatever answer you have in the back should be as good as checking Toad School as Toad School is at checking your Elekid, or at least like similar in terms of how it makes progress. So like if a Pokemon like let's say in SS like Munchlax would invite in Mienfoo every time, but then I have a Larvesta in the back, so it kind of creates this like circular game state of like I'm bringing this in and then I attack, and then it doesn't really matter if this Pokemon is like easy to check because like over time like I am winning. Now SV is a lot faster pace, so whatever I'm bringing in after will probably be getting knocked off, but I should be generating like at least a good chunk of momentum if I'm letting something in, or
Right.
if I'm like planning to like hard switch on stuff, right? So I can like purposely choose a worse Pokemon if I'm trying to build with like a Shipmon, so that I specifically invite this one Pokemon so that my job of like doubling into something is easier. I think I won't pretend that I know what's going on in his mind, but Enigma's build like I feel like they oftentimes work like this, where like a Pokemon's weaknesses is so like blatantly obvious that there's only one possible play you can do, and the counterplay to that is oftentimes like a double switch or like a very strong Pokemon in the back. So that's how like I see these types of build as working. Or it's like a lure set with like Terra or something.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, so let's say, if we want to build something with two trappers, something that would like invite in Fungus, and that Fungus would not really appreciate trying to double out of, but that would also like lose to Steel types. It's a Pokemon that would lose to almost everything when I put it like that. Um, one possibility that I could see is something like an Elekid. So you would Volt Switch on like Fungus, and you would Volt Switch on like Tinkatinks and Mienfoos and Glimmet. Um, I don't know why, but in French, like et makes an sound, so I
Hmm.
always call it dime, but I don't think that's how people pronounce it. It's just like a I don't know. Anyways, um, my point here being, now that I think about it, like what is like the advantage of running like two trappers over just one? Like just Trapinch plus Vullaby, to me at least, like now that I think about it more deeply, seems like a more it seems like it accomplishes almost the same thing because Volabee's Air Slash already nukes you know, the Pokemon that Gothita traps.
Well,
Or
we
you
can
could
run
use like
only
Gothita.
Trapinch.
Sorry? Yeah, you could run only Trapinch. So that's one thing. So Volibee is kind of an interesting case where it's. I don't think I'm gonna surprise anyone with this, but it's a very good Pokemon, and it's kind of hard to check by itself. And I mean, it is very hard to check by itself, and it sort of makes a lot of the lower rank Pokemon like obsolete because it can run so much, and it's it's just very hard to justify using like Houndour or like Poniard. Well, Poniard still has the advantage of like checking some Volibee sets and having priority, but like yeah, the lower I go down the list and I look at like the viability rankings, like the more I'm like, wow, this Pokemon is just so much worse than Volibee, to where the only reason I could see someone using like Doduo is if you're using it like with Volibee as like a flying spam.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, we could work off that. Like, let's say, I'm looking at your VR. You have
Hmm.
Doduo and Nimble next together, right? What do these guys do? Like, they use flying and or bug type moves, and those moves actually like lose to pretty similar Pokemon as Volibee. So you could like in theory fit like either Doduo and Nimble, and then a Volibee, and then a Trapper. Another Pokemon that stacks well with Volibee would be like another Dark type. So Stunky is the most obvious example. So it would be like Volibee plus second Abuser. So we're really going like all out offensive here. A Trapinch, and then a Mienfoo, obviously. Probably a Fungus, and then the last Pokemon would probably have to be like our Volibee check with Stealth Rocks. So that would be like the archetype. It would be like a very aggressive archetype, and we wouldn't have room to remove anything.
Yeah.
But it could work, right? It would have like you know um like it would have like viability even into those like uncomfortable uh, hazard stacking teams because our team functions like we are trying to overwhelm our opponents like very quickly. So, which of these three Pokemons do you like prefer, if that makes sense?
Let's go with Doduo or Nimble.
Okay, so so Doduo and Nimble, things that they have, right? Priority, strong stabs, and they are very frail.
Yeah.
So uh, I'm gonna do the same thing on my own screen so I can see. Let's go with Doduo first. So Doduo, I think it does not learn U-turn. However, Nimble does. But Nimble is a lot frailer and it will kill itself remarkably quickly. Uh, Trapinch and Doduo, even if it's not like amazing at checking Volibee, quick attack is still fairly strong, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot better in like not letting in Mienfoo, and Mienfoo might still be like an issue for us because we don't like Fungus can get you turned on. It's not like an ideal Pokemon for us. Uh, that like we would really want to justify using Nimble, so we can try Doduo, Mienfoo, and then I said the last one would probably be Think a Tank. We don't really need Think if we want to use like T spikes because we could technically trap like you know, let's say they're using Glimmet and like Fungus. we could pretty easily like set up T spikes and then start attacking with flying moves, and then the Fugus either has to Terra, in which case it doesn't remove the T spikes anymore, or it's taking like flying type attacks.
Right.
So Glimmitter Think, and then um Fugus. And what we can do right now is make a copy of this team and just try like you know replacing the Doduo with Nimble and see how we like that. So the first thing I do is I always uh, fill in my easy slots, right? So the Fungus is always going to be pretty much the same set. You might say like, oh, like I would rather have like a bit less HP, but I would rather have like some speed and some special attack. I know it used to be called like the French spread. I don't know if people still call it that. Uh, but yeah, and then Glimmet is also always pretty much going to be the same side,
Yeah.
and then so is Trapinch. So the only real choices we have to make are like Mianfu, Willoughby, and I guess Doduo to an extent. So how do you feel about like your Mianfus? Do you like them fat or fast or in between, if that's a thing?
I like to be diverse with my Mienfus.
Yeah, so the way I think about it is if I'm using Gothita, I would rather be slow because I can always, if I'm playing against another Mianfu, I can always try to slow U-turn into my Goth, and then I can like try to set up stuff. But if I'm playing Trapinch, my intuition tells me I would rather be fast because I'm not really planning on pivoting that much with my Mianfu because my games are going to be so fast. I would rather click Nox. I would rather like be attacking rather than trying to like pivot and set up something.
Yeah.
One thing we can consider as well is the Vullaby. It can very well be physical with Doduo. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like special because we are packing two priority users. We might want to consider Scarf. Though we could also just consider like a pretty normal like Brave Bird knockoff Roost U-turn type of set, and U-turn is really good with Trapinch because you U-turn onto the flying resist in
I was
U.
gonna suggest nasty plot U-turn, but we could do physical too.
Nasty plot, nasty plot U-turn seems interesting to me. I feel like if you're running nasty plot, like you really want to have obviously nasty plot, obviously air slash, and then what moves would you be dropping for U-turn?
Roost.
Yeah, typically I like Endure if I'm running Terra Blast.
Yeah.
But if you're Terra Ghost, like Terra Ghost with, I don't know, because Roost is really good. Uh, and you can always like hard switch into Trapinch. I mean, we can always try it. There's no like reason why we wouldn't be able to try it out later. That's one thing to consider too, is that like your teams are never like perfect on the first try. So
Hmm.
it always like I always keep in mind like multiple iterations or like different variations on the team. So um let's say we're going nasty plot and we're running air slash nasty plot roost. And then the last move I'm trying to think. You know what I haven't seen in a long time?
What?
Uh Taunt and Iron Defense. I don't know if you've
Ooh.
ever seen Iron Defense Vol. It used to be like pretty common,
I've seen it in
actually.
Sun and Moon.
So in older gens it used to be pretty common. It isn't in SV. I feel like if you're playing it with Trapinch, you might genuinely have like a pretty solid reason to use that. I feel like we could maybe try it out. I definitely think it has like potential. Uh, because your Volibee is just like suddenly very fat. You know what I haven't seen in a long time?
What?
Uh, Taunt and Iron Defense. I don't know if you've
Ooh,
ever seen Iron Defense Vol. It used to be like pretty common,
I've seen it in
actually.
Sun and Moon.
Yeah, so in the older gens it used to be pretty common. It isn't in SV. I feel like if you're playing it with Trapinch, you might genuinely have like a pretty solid reason to use that. I feel like we could maybe try it out. I definitely think it has like potential. Uh, because your Volibee is just like suddenly very fat and fast, and it can like somehow like muscle its way past Mudbray.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And that seems like a pretty funny set. You would still lose to Roar, but if they're not Roar, I think we can beat them. And then the set, I guess we would want to have like some defense. We could do something like this. Uh, okay, my EV spread is a little scuffed. So I ran 116 HP, and then I went all the way. So I have like 25 HP, 18 defense, and like some special attack, and like some speed. So like, yeah, that's the spread we're gonna be rolling with today.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, not really something you would typically see. We might want to consider dropping the HP because we're gonna be taking rocks anyways. But I feel like 25 divided by 4. I don't remember how it works, but I think it
That's
should give
6
us.
damage.
Yeah, that is 6 damage. So same as 4, but we do have one more HP. Yeah, I think that would be worth it, right? So how much would 23 give us? 5? So it would
Yes.
put us at 18, whereas this would give us a whole one extra hit point to do stuff.
Okay.
So just so we're on the same page, the Doduo, the uh the recommendation here is Skyplate,
Hmm.
but we can make this something else. Either like a Violite or like Life Orb even.
Hmm.
How are we feeling? I think Skyplate might be good because we're just trying to hit, you know, flying type attacks.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a pretty good squad that we can test. I will send you to team. Are you like on MT Wisdom on Showdown?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. So I'll send you to team. And typically what I do is I go on the ladder and I try to find a game.
What we've been doing
And I
is testing with each other because ladder has been
Okay.
unreliable.
So I'll challenge you, and I'm the one using the team, right? Do you want to
Yes.
bring like
I'll
something,
bring
or
samples.
what we can do as well if you find ladder unreliable is try to find like someone who's a willing participant uh while we play,
Oh, I bet
and or I
Geove
can
would
try
be
to do
willing.
that.
I can do that.
Yeah, sure. And then we can try to. She might be doing BLT though. I don't know if you know about BLT. It's like this cross tier tournament in the tournament room. I'd really encourage like any audience members who made it this far into the video to check it out, especially if you want to make a name for yourself. Like, there's gonna be at least 8 teams, and there is not like that many super good LC players qualified at the moment, so it might be like your chance to shine. if you're like an up and coming LC enthusiast. Let me challenge you in the meantime.
Okay.
Empty with And yeah, like if you have any other like general questions about like like LC related stuff or like other tiers. I don't know if much of your audience plays like tiers other than like Little Cup because I haven't really played like old gens LC in a very long time. Uh, but I'm still like uh yeah, I have like Grand Slam coming up, or I guess everyone does. But uh I'm really looking forward to that. I made it pretty far last time, and I'm hoping I might have a chance at like top cut this year, but it probably isn't gonna happen realistically, but I can dream. So what do you think of this matchup, like for my team? Not knowing like nothing of like the sets, I would say my matchup here is actually pretty bad because the Chinchou is really in the way of my birds, but there is some things I can do. So yeah, we're just gonna be stuck in a speed tie here. I feel like none of us have any reason to do anything else. Uh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a bit of a tough position for me. So I think this is my play. Okay. I would have preferred to have a slow U-turn there, but no use crying over spilt milk. What happened happened. I can still navigate my way back into a better position. So yeah. Oh, interesting that you decide to go for this line of play. Okay, that makes sense. I think what I want to do here is something like this, right? And I do this.
I think I have to go for the flinch here. Oh, but it doesn't work out. That is
Yeah,
bulky.
yeah, this is a pretty bulky Vullaby. And then yeah, then I do this. So I've managed to navigate at least like this Diglett is kind of a roadblock for me, especially if you flinch me here. Okay, good. Let's see if Trapinch kills you. I think it does. Like this. So I'm not in the best of positions, but this is still like pretty salvageable.
You do have rocks up.
I do have rocks up, and there's not really much you can do about that.
Yeah. Oh, you double so much.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of like because I have a matchup I think is not great. I'm trying to think of ways where like I can get myself into positions where like I am actually like doing stuff, if that makes
Right.
sense. So here I have. Okay, let me think about this. So this Chinchou is by far like the biggest issue for my team right now.
Hmm.
You have a pretty free Ice Beam click, but if I just do this. Oh, okay. Do you not have Ice Beam?
I do have ice beam.
Okay. I thought it was a pretty safe click for you because you just click Ice Beam. What I was gonna do is go Doduo, just trade with the Chinchou because that's why I have two birds. And then I was gonna hope that my Vullaby with Iron Defense can just clean. I would have to like get past the Terra somehow, but now I'm actually I've went from a not great position to a position I would say is very favorable.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. I was expecting Trapinch to come in, but no, that didn't happen.
yeah. So the reason I didn't go Harter Pinch is because two ice beams would have killed me, and I don't have an ice resist like at all. So I figured, yeah, I'm just gonna knock this off because my Volbeat, that would help me quite a bit here. Let's see.
This bulky
Kind of
vole is
curious to
such a
see how.
pain.
Kind of curious to see how this one goes. Uh, okay, that's pretty funny. uh, yeah, this. Um, so I would need. I might want to change the Terra type on this Volibee because Ghost does lose the knockoff, so that's a little embarrassing. Uh, so I think what I want to do here is something like. I guess I can always try to just flinch you. Yeah, that's good. And then I don't trap you, but there's not really much you can do about this. And then I just kind of have to hope. I can trade pretty favorably with this Mienfoo, I think. Not really. Um, that would have to wait. So we're kind of gonna have to play a bit of this Fungus Wars. But I am faster, or at least I should be, because you have HP on this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So now I sacrifice my Glime. Uh, and I'm not sure what order I want to send my Pokemon out now, but I don't really know if it matters. Because whatever happens, I'm just gonna do like this. Yeah. Oh, well, that makes it easier.
Yep. That'll end the game.
So, okay. So, team assessment so far, not bad. Things I will need to change. Probably the Terra on my Volibee. If I'm looking at the types, uh, so Pokemon I don't have to deal with are Think and Glimmet, ideally. Pokemon I do have to deal with Volibee, Mudbray, uh, Mienfoo, although maybe no. Hmm. I think maybe no, that's stupid. Uh, I don't know actually. I feel like Ghost might actually be the best. Uh,
Okay.
oh yeah, I saw this team in your post, but out of honesty, I'm not gonna not gonna look at what it is right now. I guess this might actually have been a better lead last game. We'll see how this pans out. I changed the Terra on my Volibee, by the way, but I won't tell you what it is.
Okay. Well, that's not good. This Pokemon's scary.
Yeah, Doduo is oh my god, that that is a
That,
real chunk.
that damage.
Actually, I think if I Terra here, I get a clean two-hit knockout. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go for that because you only really have one Pokemon that can check me now, and yeah, it's this guy. Yeah, honestly, fair enough. I'm thinking if you take Life Orb damage here. Oh, well, I guess that can happen too. Um, we're just gonna be trading kills, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess so.
I wonder how much this does to Diglett, my Doduo. probably does a good chunk. Yeah, I think you had to go. You have Rock Blast on this, right? Or do you have Iron Head?
I have Rock Blast.
Yeah, so that makes it a lot harder to let Tripinch not come in. So normally here, I think I'm winning
I think
because
so too.
yeah, I have whoa my God, is that adamant?
It is, yes.
I feel like it is. Yeah. Oh, you don't actually kill me. That's a really crazy roll. I did not see that roll. Uh, that's really unlucky for you. What even is that? Is that like the reversed 1 in 16? Like the
No, I
that's
needed
really
1
good.
in 16 to get it.
Oh,
That is
okay.
really unlucky. 'Cause now I lose to Doduo.
Yeah, I mean you were losing to Dodo before that, but now you definitely. Does the recoil even kill me here? I think it doesn't. Yeah.
And you protect here.
I guess
Yeah.
that means this team is actually pretty decent. I might mess around with making the Volibee like something else. Uh, because uh, yeah, I think the fact that Doduo just cleanly knock out Volibee kind of means that like I can run a physical Volibee with a Doduo, and that might be good too.
Yeah.
So I'll run that in our next game. Just
Okay.
a regular physical Volibee that will attempt to power through the mid game. Another variation I can think of this team, and
Hmm.
that's usually how it builds, is like a very iterative. Is trying to make the Volibee Terra ground and just have a Doduo, and then instead of Trapinch, have like Toad School and make this like a TTM team with two birds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like a double bird TTM instead of a double bird. But I like this version. The double bird TTM would be a bit more aggressive, but this would be a bit more like balanced. This version is a lot more like aggressive.
Yeah.
Um, so last game I led with Doduo into Mienfu. So I'm guessing you are scared of that and you might try to lead with something else. Yeah, that makes sense. And so here I can knock out your balloon. I do lose my Eviolite and you do get up rocks, but I don't really see a great way for me to play around this. And having this gone means you don't have a, well, you have a Howlith. So that's kind of inconvenient. At the very least, this is fine, right? Yeah, this is not fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to attack this. Okay, that I'm fine with this too. Yeah, I am fine with trading with this as well. Or with this. I am faster and I should kill you. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, you didn't kill me. I thought you would
Fake out.
since since you didn't fake out, I figured you went for knockoff and you just called me out, but now I'm in a really good driving position. I think
Yeah.
that's the yeah, I think that might have been a misplay on your part. Because I feel like, oh, well, okay. Oh, because if you're gonna gamble on me using Terra, you might as well make it so that your gamble pays off if in the eventuality that you are right. Like you were right, I did Terra, but you didn't capitalize on it enough. And now I think I just do this.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to scout for Terra at some point, but uh, Terra Fairy.
It has
Yeah,
Deagling.
I guess this, and then I do like uh this, then I do this, and then I die, and now we're back. Yeah, like this. Oh, that actually, I didn't think that would kill me. Uh, I should still win this pretty handily though, unless your toe school goes like, you have to sleep here, and I don't. You have a shot at killing me, but it's not that good. And I still have two Pokemon in the back. Yeah, okay, GG.
GG.
Yeah, this team is actually pretty good. I'm pleasantly surprised by the outcome of this. When I was told that, like, I watched your previous videos, and like the teams were always really interesting, but I feel like I was kind of going into this with the mindset that I would be building with like Skidoo or
Yeah.
something, but this is way better. um yeah. We can do more if you want.
I think that's a good place
I'll
to
ask
call it.
Tip. Okay. I can ask Tip if she wants to play one game of LC. One sec.
Okay.
And yeah, you can edit this like middle part out.
Yeah.
What time zone are you in, by the way? Are you in the same as mine, or are you like further out west?
Eastern Daylight.
So yeah, East Coast. Yeah, same as me.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, yeah, I'll ask Tip, and if she answers back, I'll. Uh, yeah, I guess I might not be.
I got a game.
Yeah, I think I'll. Oh, like on ladder, or I? No, I found a game. Uh, the channel. Okay. Uh, I'll invite you. Okay, cool. So, this is actually probably on the higher end of matchups I'd want to play, right? Because I'm playing against like I'm playing against Elekid, which I can pretty easily trap.
Hmm.
Here I'm just gonna protect, as they probably go for fake out, and then I'll just click Brave Bird. Okay, no, they switch out directly. I can either try to force my way in, either I go for the Brave Bird, but then I don't have my Doduo anymore, and it is a pretty good Pokemon to have around, but they might just click rocks. I figured they might click rocks, honestly. So I'll go for the Brave Bird, because them clicking rocks and me switching out would not put me in a great position. So at least now I have good damage on the Mudbray, and they do set up Stealth Rocks. I can either Terra right now and delete the Mudbray. Actually, I kind of like that. Because it would mean I'm in a good position, but I would need to play this like very aggressively. So here I just go straight for the Trapinch. I don't want to stall out too much. I don't think he can kill me with anything, right?
Mm-hmm. Psychic doesn't kill. There it goes. Good
Or
to burn
Ghost. I mean
Terra.
that's fine because it means he is no longer like a flying resist.
Mm-hmm.
So that does help me out to an extent, but um yeah. I'll figure this out. If he wants to psychic me, that's cool too. I figure U-turn is very obvious, but I don't really know if he can actually do anything about it. Uh, yeah, here we go. And now I am winning this Fungus Wars. Uh, but I will go for Sludge Bomb as it should kill. No, I'll go for Giga Drain because I figured he might try to finesse the Elekid in on a Sludge Bomb. So I'll just go for Giga. Okay. Okay, so here, yeah, whatever he switches in is poison. I don't really think I need rocks like that urgently. This chip is really good to have. I can set up rocks now and go to Fungus here. He is like clawing his way into a harder and harder position. I want to Sportus. I don't really want to mess around with Shellos. um, I guess he could always Terra, which would be kind of bad. But I
No, he
do
used Terra.
two hit.
Elekid Terra.
Yeah, he did already. He did already Terra. So I guess I can Giga Drain. See how much it does. I can Giga Drain again. I can try to Spore him now as he wakes. Oh wait. Oops. I'm faster. What am I doing? So here, yeah, I can put him back to sleep. This is fine because I'm faster and I have my Violite still, and because there are rocks, nothing really wants to switch in. Okay, he doesn't get poisoned, but that's still good. I guess this is a speed tie. Okay, he just sacrifices the Shellos. I can live with that.
Yeah, that's a big threat.
If he goes Elekid, I think I Glimmet is my obvious sack. I could also go for the riskier play of doing Vullaby into Mianfu. You know what? Let's go for that. So here he's gonna Psychic, and now he goes for the Electric move. And then Thunderbolt. No, but Thunderbolt into Psychic still kills me. So I guess Thunderbolt into Psychic does not KO Fungus, however. So that would be a better play. Okay, Volt Switch. That is even better for me. Um, I guess whatever happens here, I always have to either go Vullaby or Glim. Unless he sends in like some random. Yeah. I can try to go the. I would kill him with Doduo. and the Elekid is very low. So if I get T-Spikes up here, I click Doduo, I Brave Bird, and I always kill him. And if he sends out Fungus, I kill the Fungus, which is good for me and Fu. And if it sends out Elekid, the Elekid dies to poison. So he's kind of trapped in a in a trap. Okay, that's good. The Elekid does come in here, and it does just kill me. But
You have
as far
recourse.
as I can tell, yeah. So here, I can U-turn out. He likes the rocks, so that's nice. And then both of our Volabees are very low. Uh, I guess here he will knock off. The good thing is that if I go Volibee and he goes Mienfoo, does Volibee kill Mien? Does Mienfoo kill Volibee from this range? Yeah, it definitely does. So I'm kind of thinking like he will probably be going for knockoff here. Okay, Psychic is fine. That's fine. Uh, I'm thinking like my Fungus, does it live Brave Bird? It actually it actually does. Yeah, it actually does. So I'm thinking if I go Fungus, mm, it feels very risky, but it also feels like the right play. Because he will go Volibee for sure, right?
Hmm.
And then uh he will have the Brave Bird. Does Volibee kill Volibee from this range? I guess this might
Yes.
actually be a better play. Like this, and then I live, and now I kill him, and now I should win.
Yeah.
Obviously, he kills. Oh well. Okay. GG for the game. The game. Uh, yeah. Okay. So actually, very promising for the team. Uh, that's a good way to end the video on a undefeated double bird spam.
Yep.
Yeah. So any closing thoughts? Or
I
I guess thank you for having me on.
yeah, of course. Thank you for coming on. It's been a blast. Very interesting to hear your style of team building. Um,
Well, thank you.
it's very thorough. It's like you went
Oh,
through all the possible checks and
all all the steps. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Usually, so this is actually a very bad example of how my building usually goes. Usually, my first draft is really terrible, and I have to play like at least like 5 or 6 small changes to make it like palatable. But this one actually was good, like off the rip, which is not like how it typically goes for me.
well, what
But yeah,
are you Terra Ghost on Volibee? It's like a normal
the
physical
yes,
Vol.
yeah, it's the auto builder set. Uh,
Gotcha.
yeah, I can send you the final paste if you'd like. You
I
can
think
see
I
through it
have
in
it.
like a. I think you have the physical the special Volby one, right?
No, I
Or
changed it.
it. Okay, yeah. I mean both versions are usable, so two teams for the price of one.
Yeah. Thank you
All
for
right.
coming on. Would you like to say
Well,
anything? Like
uh,
perhaps inspire a newer player?
yeah. I mean, I guess if you wanna try out if you're like an up and comer, I really recommend like laddering, and at least like a 1500 score would put you on the map. Otherwise, for me, if you want to see more of my games, I'm supporting. Obviously, I'm managing French Champions League. So you can always check out. I'm not playing, but you can check out my players LC games. Who is AS Saint Priest. This week we're playing Loki Fan, so that'll be like a highlight. Otherwise, Grand Slam, end of seasonal, which I'm somehow still in, and BLT, which is coming up, are
Cool.
tournaments to watch out for. So yeah.
Sweet. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And we have more stuff coming on the way. Thank you, Wesh, for coming on. I appreciate it. And that's all for me,
You're welcome.
folks. Have a great day.